is amazing. It's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
amazing. It's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. You know, let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolutely thinking, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the SRW TV Shannon's GR86 Nationals Season 3, Round 5, live from Zandvoort. I'm JP. I'm going to be joined in the booth, not by Steve Sinkovic here this evening, but by Greg Barber's going to come along and join me in the booth here. Steve, unfortunately, is not here this evening. Much love and best wishes to Steve's wife, who unfortunately is ill, and Steve his husbandly duty looking after her this evening, so he is not here. We are at Zandvoort, 4.21 kilometers in length, and yes, you are not going blind. It is raining. Oh, sprint rain into a GR86 race, and what do you get? Well, let's hope we don't get chaos that way. Let's keep you up to date with the scores on the doors at this moment in time. In the AMs, it is Greg Barber out in front on 310 points, with Kevin Wakefield in second on 275. Then David Simmons in third on 268. Then Shannon right behind him in 262. Jason Depp on 255. Then you've got Ronald Allen, Russell Gander, Shane Nowens, Ben Simpson, Stephanie Bickley, Phil Buckman, Brendan Soper, Brent Russell, and Bob Dixon. In the Pro-Am standings, it is Dan Batouche out in front on 427 points. Thomas Donahue in second on 406, with Chris Tomlin on 391. Callum Hodgkinson on 365, then Dean Sinkovic on 312. Ryan Price, Cam Hardwick, Josh King, Wayne Edwards, Mark Cochran, Matt Feely, Gordon McCulloch, Luke Crum, and Tom Brown bringing up the rear in them standings. In the pros, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's no surprise. It's Mr. Ben Faulkner out in front by 99 points. Jackson Pringle in second. Cole Lavery in third. Joshua Houghton in fourth there. Cole Lavery splitting the Vermilion boys. Then you got Tony Baker, David Gallo, and Daniel Byrne rounded out the top 7. And Sam Chapman, Doug Gowan, Shane Ratcliffe, Dylan DeBono, Sam Katkazidos, Jamie Christensen, Mitch Noble, Blake Fitzpatrick, Sam Christensen, Tyson Hamner, and Tim Harris rounding out the rest of that table. The schedule itself, well, we are here at Circuit Zandvoort for the sprints, which is a 20-minute first race, and then they go into a 40-minute race with a top 10 reverse. Then we go on to Arena Oschersleben, not everybody's favourite circuit, but we will be heading there next week into the Red Bull Ring, Hungaro Ring, and finishing off the season at Knock Hill. You've listened to me ramble on more than enough already over the first 5 minutes. Let's bring Mr. Barber in to the booth. Greg, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, JP. Thanks for having me along. Big shout out to Stevo, who can't make it tonight. He's looking after the little ones for the missus, who's not feeling well. Looks pretty moist out there, mate. I've been watching the boys go around trying to find where the grip is, or some of them have found where the grip isn't. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when these boys try to go around a corner side by side. And you mentioned sprinkling rain on a GR86 race causing carnage. I'd go as far as to say is you don't need any rain to cause carnage in a GR86 race, but it will certainly make things interesting tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to. We've just entered into the 15-minute qualifying, guys, here, and then we will get the first race up and running. Qualifying will set the grid for race 1, and then it will be a top 10 reverse for race number 2. So we're in for a 20 minutes and then a 40-minute top 10 reverse. It's going to be scattered showers all throughout the race. Cloud cover up will be up to 73%. Wind 24 to 31 kph. Chances of rain, well, it says 59%. Now, the interesting thing about the chances, I'm going to go into just a little bit of a tangent here as well. When you look at the weather and it says the chance of rain is 10%, sit back and think, oh, that's 10% in my area. Well, it doesn't actually work like that, believe it or not. It does mean 10% of the whole nation that there might be rain here, but clearly in Zandvoort at this moment in time, that 59%, Greg, is well and truly correct, as we're into qualifying with some rain.
Yeah, it's look, it's patchy rain. There's it's certainly not heavy rain, but it's going to be with us for a little while. And yeah, you're quite right. When the session says there's a percentage chance of rain, it just means that that's the likelihood of rain hitting. It doesn't give you any indication to how bad that rain's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you've got to look at the situation and determine what we're going to get out of it. At the moment, there's flickers of rain on Sam Chapman's screen, and no surprise, everybody is out on wet tyres here currently at this moment in time. We see a David Gallo, Daniel Byrne try a dry tyre strategy that did not work out for them at all, to be fair, Greg. They spun more times than a ballerina in Swan Lake.
Yeah, I remember seeing that last time we were out in the wet. Yeah, at the moment, track temperature's down at 19 degrees. The track's probably about half wet, I'd say, at the moment, as far as iRacing goes. It's not drenched. There's not a lot of standing water around. It is certainly slippery on line for the boys, so you see a lot of these guys taking the wider line through some of these turns. And yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it. At the moment, not too bad. And looking at the weather that's coming across on the radar, I think it's going to stay fairly consistent. I don't think it's going to get dramatically wetter than this.
Yeah, well, you say. I think iRacing could absolutely pour down on these wonderful individuals driving around here. It's been a very interesting season, I think. Kind of in the pros, it's the same individual at the front, as there is a spinner there. That is Dan Byrne. Ben Faulkner running away with the pros again.
Yeah, he certainly got the best of these guys so far, as he has done in previous seasons and indeed in other classes as well. But, Sam Chapman is also very, very quick. There's a couple of other quick guys in here that could take it up to Ben at any time. And as you say, in iRacing, anything can happen, and in the wet, anything can happen as well. So just watching some of these guys go around the circuit, you mentioned Dan Byrne having a bit of a spin. There's some serious car control being put on display already so far.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to sit back and watch how Ben Faulkner gets on here. Never really had a trouble in the rain, managed to get the car stopped and get it around the corners and keep going on that one. The other two classes, the Pro-Ams and the AMs, fairly close at the moment. We've got Dan Batouche in the Pro-Ams. We've got Greg Johnson in the AMs. Dan being chased by Thomas Donoghue, who we know got promoted last time out before coming into the last round. He's now been promoted up to Pro-Ams. TD got a bit of love, as Thomas in the YouTube chat. We've seen it on a regular weekly basis here as well. Have we kind of, by promoting him up to Pro-Ams, which is a harder category and with faster drivers, have we jeopardized him somehow in getting the AM championship that he would have had?
It's always been SRW's policy to revise the classes, especially for drivers who haven't driven in the series before. After 3 rounds, so I think what's this, round 5 now? So he was promoted for round 4. That's just based off his performances in the first 3 rounds, I expect, and also SRW takes into account results outside of the league as well, in other leagues and also in official races and so on. So look, I certainly think Tom's fast enough to be in Pro-Am, and I think that probably the AM championship for him was probably a step too low, and I think it's pretty well worked out now. I was looking at the overall standings earlier, and sort of the first third of the field is all pro, and then you've got a bit of a spattering of pro and pro-am in the middle third, and then the bottom third is basically am drivers and drivers who have only done 1 or 2 races. So I think the admin boys have got it pretty spot on.
Yeah, he's kind of showing his power. I think at the moment sitting 4th there. Sam Chapman out on pole, Ryan Price, David Gallo. Not many times on the board, but I can tell you why that is. A lot of people are struggling with off-tracks. Ben Faulkner also being one of them. And as we just see on the bottom of your picture there, currently, I think that was Tom Brown that's possibly gone round. Only half the field, the top 16, have set times at this moment. Off-tracks are plenty currently here, Greg, going through the timing tower and seeing plenty of people with off tracks across the board. Ben Faulkner's got them, Cam Hardwick, Shane Nowens has got them, Dan Byrne, Shannon Wright, David Simmons. You can see 2 people sitting in the gravel there. That's Mr. Dean Sinkovic and David Simmons together. Proving more difficult than I think some of these drivers expected at Zandvoort in the rain.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that iRacing throws the off tracks at you so easily in some cases, especially when the track gets wet, because you sometimes going off track doesn't actually gain you any time. So as we see Sam Chapman with a 2:03.8 for the fastest time, and he's just done a slower lap there at 2:04.8. So it's quite variable in the wet, and as you say, some of the boys having a bit of trouble setting a valid time. But there's some good sector time starting to come in now. Dylan DeBono's on a purple sector 1.
Dylan DeBono sitting in 2nd here currently. Ben Faulkner has just got a time on the board. He goes and puts himself in 3rd. So if you're ever going to come back and put yourself on the timing screen, well, you might as well do it sitting in place. Not exactly slow, so it should be an interesting one. And seeing how he gets on alongside Dylan here in the last round at Lebanon. It was Chapman who took a victory there in race number 1, and then, it was services resumed. It was Faulkner and Faulkner for races number 2 and 3. Cam Hardwick wrapping up the Pro-Ams, and Chris Tomlin and Callum Hodgkinson getting the race wins. Ronald Allen for race 1 and race 2, and also race 3. Ronald Allen there, the first AM to win all 3 races there, Greg. He's done a great job as Ronald at the moment, sitting in himself in 12th, still leading the AMs, ahead of the AMs. But he's done a great job overall, just kind of being consistent and keeping it on track.
Yeah, that's a good time from Ronald. He's in front of quite a few pro boys there, so, and definitely in front of quite a few pro-ams. So that's good driving from him. Yeah, but looking at last week, I think Sam Chapman just had a little bit of trouble in race 2 and 3 getting through the reverse grid, the reverse top 10 grid in race 2, and that set him back a little bit for race 3 as well. So hopefully he can keep his nose clean this week, and he's obviously got the pace. He's sitting up there in P1 at the moment, just gone faster again with a 2:03.5. So hopefully he'll be able to stay up the front this week and take the fight up to Ben Faulkner, who has just knocked him off the top with a 2:02.9. That's a pretty quick lap time.
Yeah, Dylan DeBono held it for a minute on a 2:03.6, but Ben is the first man inside the 2:02s. It's been flicking around quite a lot. We've had Dylan, then Sam, then Ben. Thomas Donahue did move himself up into 4th, then Dan Byrne and also Jackson Pringle have gone past him here. Shane Nowens is still without a time on the board. David Gallo has got a green coming into the final sectors. We've only got 3 here, which is great because otherwise we would have had 6. A little bit somewhat unoptimistic, should we say. Gallo moves himself up onto a 2:05.814. Dougie Gowan's down in 12th. He's just about to come over the line. Is he going to improve on his 2:07.458? Not at this moment. What about Mark Cochrane? He's all the way down in 15th, is Mark. He's heading down over the line. Ronald Allen tucked in right behind him. We'll see if this is going to jump around. Sam Kakazinos goes up. Ronald Allen goes up. Mark Cochrane moves a little bit. Dylan DeBono again. Got another green and another purple here. We've seen some great battles, Greg, between Dylan and Ben this season. They haven't always turned out great. contact on whatever else is, taking its part. But I think Dylan's got the bit between his teeth. Is he going to be the first man? 203.393. Sam Chapman 203.171. Again, the top three here. Greg flicking around quite a lot.
Yeah, it's closing up at the top, isn't it? The gaps are coming down, and I think the rain is easing a little bit. So that's making things interesting. It looks like the radar starting to clear up a little bit, and we might even have some dry lines forming towards the end of race 1.
Well, we'll see how they get on and whether or not they're going to come out and decide whether it's going to be wet or dry. Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Let's be about it. The Facebook there, Ryan Price, into it, boys, he says. Okay, right.
Interestingly, there's quite a gap between P3 and P4. There's almost a couple of seconds there, which is unusual. But as you say, in the wet, the gaps can separate out a little bit with the different laps that people could put in. You can pretty easily lose some time, as opposed to running in the dry where you kind of know what the racing line is, whereas in the wet you're trying to feel out where the wet patches on the track are.
I think that's the thing. I would sit here and worry about this grid and sit back and think how important qualifying is going to be and everything else, but I'm also kind of sitting here thinking it's raining, and rain is one of the great equalizers within racing in general, partly because literally anything can happen in the people aquaplaning off the side of turn 1. We can see people making spins in the GR86, which wouldn't be a surprise, let's be real about it, as this car does have a tendency to go round. So although I'd love to sit here and say qualifying is vitally important, I'm also not kind of that worried about it due to the fact of the difference between what rain does cause people.
Yeah, look, and there are some drivers who absolutely love the wet and are quite quick in the wet. You see that in the real world too, and you certainly see it in sim racing. So, and there are other guys who absolutely hate it and just can't find their way no matter what they do. It's about being smooth. It's about not asking too much of the car. And yeah, as you say, it is the great equaliser, and you might find some surprises coming out with the weather tonight.
Yep, I do think that could be the case. There we go. Thanks, fellas. All the best with the broadcast. Cheers, mate. No Mr. Sinko here this evening, but we've got the wonderful next to me instead in the booth. So this should be a fun one to get through here. We've got about a minute on the clock for qualifying, or the official qualifying time. Cam Hardwick is here. He's got some greens on the board as Cam. He's got two more corners to go. Let's see if we can see any rain on his windscreen. Not at the moment. So, big old slide there from Cam. He literally turned it the opposite way. Let's see how he gets on. I've got a funny feeling that slide may have just cost him in that final sector.
Yeah, it looks like it might. But who knows? He might have been a long way up before that. What was I going to say? Just remembering it is a sprint round tonight, so the qualifying session will cut as soon as that clock reaches 0. So just keeping an eye out for who might be able to finish their lap. Possibly.
I would say probably Brent Vassell might be the last one.
I was just about to say, yep.
Yeah, he's got 20 seconds. Maybe not even him to be. Might only be second place as Sam Chapman. That actually car over the line in time. Not too sure if Dan Bertouche is going to be able to do it within. Oh, maybe Sam's not.
Sam, I don't think Sam's going to get there either. Here it goes. That's the checkered flag.
Yeah, so no times on the board for the guys that were on the lap. Let's bring you up the grid for race number 1. And it is Ben Faulkner on pole position with Sam Chapman in second, Dylan DeBono in third, and Dan Bourne in fourth. Then Carl Lavery, David Gallo, fifth and sixth. Jackson Pringle in seventh, with Thomas Donoghue leading the Pro-Ams in eighth. Dougie Gowans in ninth, Tony Baker in 10th, and Dan Bertouche and Ryan Price bring up the Pro-Ams in 11th and 12th. Mark Cochrane in 13th, Jamie Davis 14th, Cam Hardwick 15th, Ronald Allen 16th, Luke Crum in 17th, with Mitch Noble in 18th, Sam Katkazinos down in 19th, and Shannon Wright down in 20th, Josh King 21st, Chris Tomlin 22nd, Dean Sinkovic 23rd, Brent Russell in 24th. Kevin Wakefield, Wayne Edwards, Stephanie Pigley, Shane Nowens, David Simmons, Tom Brown bring out the top 30. Then Tyson Hamner, Adam Hughes, Callum Hodgkinson, Ben Simpson, they're rounding out the top 34. Predictions for the race here. What do we think, Greg? How many safety cars are you going to get? Greg?
Sorry, mate. Race 1, I'm going to go with 2, and I'll just mention that Adam Hughes and Tyson McAvoy are in the race control booth tonight.
Race 1, 2. I don't think there's going to be any in. Got to be honest. Having any, but we'll see. See how it goes. Just waiting for the guys to get on to the grid, ready to go. Have you driven around Zandvoort, Greg? Been out on the race circuit?
I have driven Zandvoort in a GT3, yes. A little bit different in a GR86, but it is a challenging track. Lots of camber, lots of elevation change, and a few corners that can be a little bit blind. You sort of turn into them and don't really know where the apex is. So it can be interesting. I haven't actually driven Zandvoort in the wet, though, so we'll have to see how these guys go. Rain has stopped, by the way.
Ooh, wow. There you go. It's going to be an interesting one. Stopping of the rain, but we are still waiting for most of the grid to come on and join us for this one. Great if they could, and then we our first race up and running. Don't forget, if you are in YouTube chat, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and all that other fancy jazz you can do for completely free here, of course. Don't forget, you can have a chat with us. We will say hi. We will not ignore you. I promise. So if anybody has got any comments or whoever they want to have a look at or find out about their favourite driver, just let us know and we will try and bring it up on screen for you. But we're just waiting for a few more here. Get on. Is there anything you do, Greg, between gridding and in this process? Because some of them seem to take quite a while to get on the grid.
Yeah, no, there's a double check and a triple check of the setup you've loaded, usually. I think these guys are on a fixed setup, so obviously that's not a thing for them. Certainly checking all your pit options are set up, ready to go as well, whether or not you expect to take tyres or turning off your fast repair. Things like that are definitely things you do when you're sitting on the grid or before you go to the grid, for sure. But a lot of guys I notice just sit there and wait for the clock to tick down before they join the grid for some reason.
Well, I find that very frustrating. If anybody is watching back, please
it can be, yeah.
Please get on the grid quicker. Come on, literally just finished qualifying. Press the button. There's grid. Worked in qualifying. Gonna work in the race. I mean, pointing out, unless you're in VR, of course, and you need to plug it in to charge it up, because there's nothing worse than your VR dying halfway through the race.
I am quite familiar with that experience, yeah.
Yeah, I drive, and I drive. When I do drive, I drive with my VR plugged in, partly because I never know how long the battery's going to last. 1 minute it can last for hours, and next minute it can last for minutes. So, you know, we kind of make sure that we plug it in just in case. However, I do not recommend being in VR, doing a pack race on an oval like Talladega and getting hit into the wall and spinning multiple times. Very seasickness oriented. So, yeah, bit of warning, safety warning. Now, if you are in VR and you do start spinning and going up in the air, pop it off your eyeballs. Not a good experience.
Close your eyes and hope for the best. Here we go.
Right, just waiting for Jamie Davis to get on to the grid. Oh, not going to make the grid. He's in the pit lane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, round 5, race 1 is up and running. Nobody really went anywhere. Kevin Wakefield, I believe that was, at the back, made an absolutely barnstorming start there. He went past about 3 people. On the run down into turn 1 now, Ben Faulkner, Sam Chapman, Dylan De Bono has lost a place to Chapman. He's trying that inside line. Chapman, De Bono does manage to hang on. It's going to be a grip search. It's going to be a fight here with De Bono and Faulkner. Who's going to have the pace? Who's going to be able to muscle their way through 2 on turn 1. They're coming up to turn 3 now. Then they'll be going on the run through 4 and 5. Up into Shevlak, losing the banking as much as possible. Brent Wassel has just gone down the order. There's a big old mountain of incidents at the back here, Greg.
Yeah, there's 3 cars around just going into turn 3. I think they're all going to get going again though, so it won't be that first safety car just yet, I don't think. But yeah, it looks like Shane Nowens is around and just recovering now. Brent Wassel was involved, and we've also got Tom Brown that's gone around just on the exit of turn 3.
And them 3 guys will be trying to come back through the order. We'll keep an eye out and see how they get on. And once more, but Ben Faulkner coming round turn 9. And then going around the left-hander at turn 10. He's still got De Bono tucked up right behind him here as well. De Bono's taking that inside line, which is always going to be the way. There's going to be a fight on the exit. Faulkner's going to try and get the power down early. De Bono's going to want to cover him off here. They're side by side going up into the right-hander. It favours Faulkner being on the inside. He's going to have the power to go past De Bono. De Bono tried something different on that turn, and turn 10 will allow that, but you've just got to be very, very careful of the person on the inside of you. It looks like Shane Nowens has just been off track. Brent Wassel again, also off the side of the circuit. He's having a bit of a nightmare here. The guy's at the back end of these field, but it's going to be Faulkner who's going to come round, take the lead for the first time, take the first lap lead, should we say. But Dylan De Bono's not resting up here, Greg. He is chasing him down. You can see the difference in pace already with Daniel Byrne almost 2.8 seconds back already over lap 1.
Yeah, it was a good move from Ben. I got a bit confused there because I'm used to Dylan being in a green car in the F3s. But yeah, that was a good move. Ben got a little bit wide on the banking, or going into the banking for the last corner there, and Dylan actually got a chance to fight back at him. And see they're side by side into 2 here, so we'll just have to see how this pans out. Dylan's actually got the line on him into turn 3. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the corner names at Zandvoort.
No, mate, I've given up. They literally 1 to 14, all right? Don't try it, because otherwise it doesn't always go well. The only one I can pronounce is this one that they're on the run up to now, which is Shevlak here. De Bono getting a big old slide. There was a couple of mixtures of lines there, Greg, which was quite interesting for me. De Bono tried a different line round turn 3. Didn't work out. He knew he had to chase the bank in. Faulkner was already alongside him at this point. De Bono again with a big snap, big slide for Dylan De Bono. He's really pushing that car. That's opening up the gap to Faulkner. Faulkner's nearly a second in front now. De Bono's going to have to kind of try and get his grips on what's going to happen here, because at this current moment in time, De Bono's looking a little bit raggedy. But is that just him trying to push the car as hard as it will go here, Greg?
Yeah, he's trying to find a limit of the grip, and Ben, interestingly, is using a lot of the exit curb, which in the wet can be fraught with danger. So it's interesting to see Ben's able to keep the car a bit straighter than Dylan. Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. Ben's starting to pull away a little bit now. But in turn 3, yeah, the lines can be a little bit different. Usually in the dry, the high line can be the better line, which means there'll be plenty of rubber up high on that banking. So it'd be interesting to see if the lower line in the wet is actually faster.
De Bono's tried it a couple of times, unfortunately not coming too much. Dan Byrne has got Pringle and Lavery in behind him. Dan Batouche has got Mr. Ryan Price, who's just going up the inside here for Pricey into turn 13. Is he going to be able to get the power down? He is. What is the situation going on in Sam Catcazzino's car? Well, that's about as much as he can see at the moment. He's got quite good vision, but if Batouche comes over and douses him in a double draft, Catcazzino's trying the outside line. He's going to get the run here. Down into turn 1 we go. It's going to be Sam Catcazzino's. He's got nowhere to go now. Pricey's covered him off. Sam's got nowhere to go. He manages to hold on past Dan Batouche. Can he clear Pricey on the exit? He's got to be chasing that line. He isn't. De Bono and Faulkner and Chapman, sorry, I've jumped up front here, are literally, we're at 1 point, 0.002 apart. So that run down into that final turn 1 and down into that corner there, Greg. Keeping it very close with these guys.
Yeah, they're keeping it tight. Daniel Burns just had a spin at turn 3 in the background as well, so that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, these three boys are have stuck together. They're not. I thought Ben Faulkner was going to get away a little bit there, but Sam's come through on Dylan, and Dylan's hanging in there behind these two.
Yeah, he is tucked in behind him at the moment as well. We'll have a look back and see what happened to Daniel Byrne. I believe him and Mitch Noble have also had a moment between them here. Have a quick look back and see what Dan Byrne got himself up to. Was this all on his own? Going into the bank in. That back end's coming round. He chased that bank in too high. Round he goes, unfortunately. Now, I want to keep an eye on what happened to Noble, because I believe there may have been something else going on at the same time. Oh, no, he just literally got it all a little bit slidey. How's this going to relate after this? Because I've got a funny feeling there might have been something else where both men end up off the side of the circuit. We'll keep an eye. Oh,
stick with it.
They're going to come side by side on that run down into Schlieblatt now. What happened? Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Mitch was being a bit enthusiastic down the outside there, I think. I'm not sure where he was planning on putting the car after they turned into the corner, but we'll see what race control says about it. But yeah, it looked like Mitchie wasn't too far up alongside on Daniel there. Daniel had recovered from an incident, and he'd been on the track for quite some time, so I don't think there's a question of any sort of unsafe rejoin impeding thing. But yeah, Daniel just got his right rear wheel out on the white line there through turn 3, and that's what sent him around.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, it did. Sinkovic and King are mixing it up, and then we've got Mitch Noble, who of course is coming through the field, but we are expecting something coming out of RC. Whether or not what that will be, we'll find out. Jamie Davis is in there currently. Both Jamie joined this evening, I do believe. Dan Batush, Cam Hardwick and Josh King have had some form of ta-ta-ta. It was either that or they all went off at exactly the same time, which would be absolutely scary. There goes Dan. Is there going to be another there goes one more. Where is Josh King in all of this? Oh, he's off already. So they all went off kind of at the same time there, Greg. 2 in one part of the racetrack, and Josh down into turn 1 by the looks of it.
Yeah, if I was going to be watching this race, I'd go and stand at the top of turn 3. I think there's plenty of action going on there. Looks like Mitch Noble has received a drive-through penalty for that incident with Daniel Byrne, by the way.
So Mitch will go and do that drive-through. Chris Tomlin sitting in second in the Pro-Ams with Dan Batush tucked up right behind him. Dylan Bonono, Dylan De Bono has just cleared Chapman. So De Bono now setting on his way after Mr. Faulkner. The problem is they're coming into a draft area that's going to benefit Chapman right about now.
Yeah, that's right. Sam's tucked in behind him now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a crack down into turn 1. Dylan's taken the defensive line down alongside the pit wall. He's allowed to come back, but he has to leave a car's width on the outside there. Sam's, there's a bit of contact, and Dylan's gone off. I think Dylan's might have just understeered in the braking zone and on the turning point there, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of that one. But yeah, I think everybody doing the right thing there, just a bit of an unfortunate racing incident.
Coming down into turn 1. Possibly left some more room inside from Dylan now. Be interested to see how RC deciphered that one, because there was a space left. Mitch Noble's in the pits, which we know will be serving his penalty. Jamie Davids alongside Callum Hodgkinson is going to get the job done, I believe, going around turn 1. So that's them. Oh, making weird contact.
Yeah, that was a bit of net code going on there. A couple of wheels catching together, but yeah, look, it's these guys have got to give each other a bit more space. I think you know, in the wet, the car's going to move around a little bit more, and the last thing you want is somebody just having a little bit of a moment right next to you and causing contact like that. So, yeah, I agree. Dylan had a lot of space on the inside going into turn 1 there, so I'll be interested to see what race control says.
Yeah, I think we'll be looking and seeing how that one works out on that one. But as you say, it did look like the weird little bit of contact kind of looked like it was, well, as you say, a code issue there. David Davis, unfortunately, just had a incident. I was looking at Stephanie Pickley and Ben Simpson, a great little ding-dong. Jamie's going to run wide. That back end is going to try and force the power down. And around he's going to go.
Yep. Called it well. Yeah, just a little bit too much jandle there, I think, from Jamie.
Stephanie Pickley, Ben Simpson battling it out side by side. Stephanie has got the position currently. We're going to go jump back with Chris Tomlin and Dan Batouche. They're still battling away with Daniel Byrne in the Pro-Am second and third overall here. Tony Baker is running side by side at this moment in time, literally side by side at this moment in time here. That's Wayne Edwards. No, it's not. That is got to be a back marker. Then if that is not Wayne Edwards, who is that?
Yeah, I think that might be Brent Wassell being cleaned up at the back of the field there after his incident on lap 1.
That's Hardwick tucked in, and there's Tim Blossy SimLab car. And yeah, Wassell is in behind that. But Tomlin and Batouche have just swapped places briefly. Batouche has managed to take it back. They've swapped places 3 times over the last part of this lap. So great battles going on in the Pro-Ams. This is the second and third. We've still got 9 minutes, Greg. I feel like I've been at this for absolutely ages, and we've still got 9 minutes of racing to go.
Yeah, we haven't had that safety car yet. You might be on for a winner here.
Yeah. Hey, look, mate, I can't help it. I got a crystal ball. They call me Mystic Meg for a reason. You know what I mean? Let's be real. But I think the problem with Zandvoort is, yes, it's quite a tight circuit, but there's a little bit more runoff at certain places where the flash points are going to be, where the cars can spin themselves around and get themselves going again. You know, I don't think people have had to call in a tow. They haven't had to worry too much. Mark Cochran, however, is going to have to worry because he found the wrong way there, did Mark. And I'm wondering if this is the same that we've seen for most of the evening, Greg. Just too many beans.
Maybe a little bit of side-on contact there, but yeah, Mark's done that to himself, unfortunately. Yeah, so on the safety car, I think you're right. There is plenty of runoff here, and when it's wet, the speeds are down as well. And when the car spins, it tends to be a little more predictable as well. When it's wet, it tends to slide straight ahead more so than sort of grip up and reverse direction and things like that. So you're probably right on the safety car thing there, and these incidents that we're seeing seem fairly minor for the most part. Everyone seems to be able to get going again pretty easily.
Adam Hughes on Facebook there is trying to get himself sacked. How good is this new broadcast team? Let's hope Stevie isn't sitting at home reading the comments there, Adam. Otherwise, might not be back next week. But there we go. Let's see what goes on as these guys continue to fight round turn 14.
Oh, mate, I'm praying for a safety car because we actually had Adam Hughes have a bit of a wobbler moment the other night in the V8s and spin the safety car on the way in. So just a shout out there for Adam as well.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well be Cold Trickle out of Days of Thunder, mate. I want you to go and hit the safety car. You've hit everything else tonight. You might as well go and hit the safety car as well. So, well done, Adam. If you're having a bad one, mate, that's the way to finish off your whole evening. I suppose go and hit the safety car and spin it round. Oh, dearie me, I can't even believe that was a thing. We have got a safety car. Oh, I was completely oblivious there, Greg.
So we do.
Yes, we have got a safety car again. Oh, dearie me. Can we? Oh, completely missed that. Why do we? Oh, Sam Chapman jumped back to the pits. But why did Sam Chapman jump back? Went off track here. Why did he jump back to the pit lane? Already lost a bunch of time.
Oh, back there. Oh, he's straight into the wall. Actually, I saw that car off to the side as we were talking, as the rest of the field came through earlier, and I didn't realise that it was that badly damaged. It didn't look that bad. So obviously he's requested a tow, and out comes the safety car. We've got about 5 minutes to go in this race though, so it's going to be tight for the sprint to the finish. It's a 2-minute lap in the wet, so I can only imagine we're going to get 1 or 2 laps in before the checkered comes out.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, Des, but we are on safety car at this moment. So let's see. Jacob O'Reilly, please stop inciting physical contact in the cars. Someone, Ben Faulkner, his head's getting too big. Now, dear. We do not go with things like that. Oh, get us all in trouble up here, I can tell you that much. Mr. is, well, in the car. Let's hope he keeps it going in the right direction.
Yeah, I hope he's had some wet practice before he got into the session tonight. But looks like safety car's going to be doing at least one more lap. I hope it's only one more lap because we'll be pretty close to the finish of the race before they get around to the start-finish line again.
Yeah, we'll have to see how long have we got left. I've got
4 minutes. 4 minutes 20 on my clock, and a racing lap's 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think not exactly rocking out the pace. Doing 80 kilometers an hour. That is.
Yeah, he's. Sometimes you do vary the safety car speed a little to try and get the pack to bunch up behind earlier. I would imagine we're not doing any wave rounds at this point. If we do, they'll be out the way very, very quickly, and hopefully we can go racing for one sprint lap to the finish.
I think so.
So that last safety car lap was 3 minutes 20. So yeah, we should cross the line with about 30 seconds remaining. So we will get a one lap dash to the finish if the safety car comes in this lap.
Yeah, well, I was hoping that Mr. De Bono is tucked up a little bit more closely than he needs to be. I think I would be nestling on the gearbox of Ben Faulkner there as well. Cameron Kirkwood in the YouTube chat there. I wish James Russell, the famous race car driver, was here to see this. Is that because the commentary is so amazing? Is that what it is? It's got nothing to do with the cars or the racing, is it? It's just literally the comms. It's so outstanding. With myself and Greg in the booth, that's what you're wishing him to hear. Got to blow our own trumpet.
Credit to the drivers as well, who are out there doing their thing in the rain.
They're here every week. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're the real show, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. Let's be real. I don't know. Oh, steady.
Oh, and there goes Adam again. Oh, he's off, he's away. So lights are out, and he's pulling away from the field by the looks of things.
So it will be now all on Mr. Faulkner. I'm surprised he pulled away. We've still half a lap practically ready to go. I thought he might have gotten sort of maybe coming into turn 11 and 12 there.
Yeah, in the dry, it probably would be. In the wet, yeah, you're going to be a little bit slower returning to pit lane. So, yeah, not surprised they've gone a little bit earlier, and I think they are probably hoping these boys are going to go racing well and truly before the start-finish line so that they get the speed up and get across the line. Still 2 minutes to go, though, so we're definitely going to see a one-lap dash to the finish here. Should be exciting. We've got Dylan coming up right on the back of Ben Faulkner now, so getting ready to go green.
Sorry, I am following Adam. I just want to make sure he can get it in the pit lane without spinning it.
Oh, yeah, well, you've got to follow Adam just in case he does spin it. You got it nicely on the broadcast.
There we go. He's made it all the way through. Right, here we go. This race is going to be one lap. One lap. Nothing more. Nothing less. And this is what we're going to get. And ladies and gentlemen, the white flag, I thought that was a checkered flag Barney was waving then. I would have been quite worried about that. White flag is out, and Ben Faulkner's already gone. De Bono's missed it a little bit. He's got Sam Che, he's got Pringle up beside him now. De Bono's going to be pushed out coming into turn one. Pringle's going to have that inside line. Can De Bono make that outside work? He can. Can he carry the speed? He does. Can he hold on and get through? He does. Now it's all about going after Faulkner here currently for De Bono. That's where it's got to be for De Bono, right? He's just got to make sure that he can get hold of Ben Faulkner. But at the moment, it's looking like Faulkner might have the pace on him.
Yes, Dylan's definitely got to be careful with Jackson behind him, but yeah, he's managed to get a better run through turn 3 there on the higher line, and yeah, it's starting to space out a little bit now. I think Ben Faulkner's got this.
Well, we're on that run down through She Black T turn 7.
Oh, he won't have it if he does that. Ooh, that was a big save from Faulkner there. That was amazing.
De Bono did the same thing practically as well, and both men managed to save the car, which is going to give us a very close 6 tenths now It's going to be this last run. Can De Bono get anything out of this? Is he going to tighten the lineup? Nope. He needs that normal fast-paced run. It's now going to be between Dylan De Bono, Ben Faulkner. But De Bono closing in 7 tenths. He's gone back out a tenth. Coming into turn 11 and 12 here, Greg. What do you reckon? Faulkner's?
Yeah, it's Faulkner's to win here. He's just got to keep it clean and not make any mistakes. Dylan's doing a good job of straightening the car off the corner, though, and concentrating on his exit speed. So that's why we're seeing that gap come down a little bit. But yeah, 1 corner to go. Faulkner's just got to keep it all straight and tidy here. Oh, that's not going to help, because now he's going to lose the run onto the straight, and Dylan's going to have a run at him here. I'll let you take it to the finish.
Yeah, here we go, guys. It's going to be down to the line. Who's going to be able to get this? It's going to be De Bono. Oh, steady, you feisty little banana.
Oh, this is close.
Oh, Faulkner, that's tight.
Did De Bono got it, I think?
0.00000.
You're kidding me.
No.
A dead heat.
A dead heat. How are they going to get this one?
Oh, that is amazing. I don't know how we work that out now. It is only race 1, but my overlay has Dylan in P1 and Ben in P2.
Mine has Faulkner 1 and De Bono 2.
Oh, it does indeed. Wow, that's amazing. Interesting. We'll have to wait and see where iRacing puts them on the grid. What did iRacing results say? iRacing has De Bono P1 and Faulkner P2 with a gap of 0.000 seconds. That is extraordinary.
Let's have a run. Look at this run down into the line once more here. These guys, it changed. It changed.
Oh, that's unlucky.
You nasty man. Oh,
never mind.
Oh, I was going to look for the run. Right, let's bring out the road. Let's actually see. Sorry, I was just so concentrated to try and get a replay there. I forgot to bring out the results. It's De Bono. iRacing has De Bono. Oh, dearie me. Faulkner, 0.000. It was a dead heat going over the line. Jackson Pringle in 3rd, Carl Lavery 4th, Dougie Gowans in 5th. TD won the Pro-Am, Sam Kakasinos in 7th, David Gallo 8th, Dan Patouche in 9th, Tyson Hamner 10th. Ronald Allen took the AM win and 10th overall. Great job. Brian Price finished off the podium in the Pro-Ams. And Crum, Tomlin, Hardwick, Baker, Hodgkinson, Edwards and King is your top 19. Then you've got Mark Cochran, Mitch Noble, Shane Nowens taking 2nd place in the AMS. Then Dan Byrne and Wakefield there. Then Stephanie Pickley, Shannon Wright, Dean Sinkovic, Ben Simpson and David Simmons. And why have you gone and done that? Sort it out. Jamie Davis, Sam Chapman, Brent Wassell, Tom Brown, Adam obviously in the car there. And how do we sort out a dead heat? How are we going to just look at how are you going to do the points on that one?
It'll be interesting because the points are done automatically out of the iRacing results. So it'll depend how iRacing sorts them out. It could be, I'd have to wait and see, I've never actually seen this before, but it could be that iRacing issues the same points to 1st and 2nd. Or it could be that it uses some other way to work out who actually finished ahead. But we'll have to wait and see how that comes out in the wash, I suppose.
Ooh, okay. I love that analogy, how it comes out in the wash.
Well, it is, yeah, it is. Every car out there is getting a wash at the moment, isn't it? I honestly don't know how iRacing has determined Dylan De Bono P1 and Ben Faulkner P2. What I can tell you, though, is that puts Ben Faulkner ahead of Dylan De Bono on the grid for race 2, which is a little bonus for him, even if he does miss out on a couple of points from race 1.
Yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting to see what Dylan does, partly because we know the aggression of Faulkner at the start of the race is quite high. And some say too high, others say it's racing. and some probably sit there silently cursing away, saying how, it's forced his way through and whatever and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see if De Bono follows the same tactic and follow his way through. It might be interesting and coming to the end of the race, but I think if he doesn't follow Faulkner through, I think by the end of the race he could be in trouble.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be the difference. Ben does have an aggressive style on lap 1, and that's not going to change on the wet track. I'm in the camp of watching Ben use that aggression on lap 1 and wondering how on earth he manages to do it without causing mayhem. But more often than not, he does, whether that's other guys moving out of his way because they know he's coming, or that's in fact the skill of the guy. I think it's a bit of both. Yeah,
I think there is a slight little bit of resistance from people to get involved. I have to be honest. I think I wouldn't personally want to be involved. I would be... Well, I suppose to be fair, it kind of one of them things where you sit back and you think, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Am I going to gain anything by holding him up? Or is it just bragging rights? And am I going to lose time to the people I'm actually racing in and around it? So, yeah, for me, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I guarantee you are going to lose time to the people you are racing. And you're dead right. You have to make the decision. If you've got someone like Ben Faulkner in behind you showing you the nose into turn 1, you know he is coming. And so there's no second guessing. You know that car's coming up the inside or even down the outside of you, and you need to react to that in the way that's best for your race. And look, if that means some guys need to move aside and let it happen, then so be it. Because as you say, it's going to happen eventually at some point during the race. As sure as anything, that car is going to come through the field. So if it does it cleanly, and there's no doubt he'll be up the front pretty quickly in this race.
Yeah, I do agree on that one. Let's bring you out the grid for race number 2. Tyson Hamner is going to be on pole with Dan Batouche in second, David Gallo in third, Sam Katkazinos in fourth. Tyson Donoghue will be in fifth with Dougie Gowan sixth, Carl Lavery seventh, and Jackson Prince eighth. Here's the thing. Ben Faulkner will be in ninth with Dylan DeBono alongside him in 10th. Then Ronald Allen and Ryan Price, your top 12. Moving on from that one, we only want one page, thank you very much. Luke Crum in 13th, with Chris Tomlin 14th, Cam Hardwick 15th, Tony Baker down in 16th, Callan Hodgkins in 17th, Wayne Edwards 18th, Josh King in 19th, and Mark Cochran will be in 20th. Mitch Noble 23rd, Shane Nowers 22nd, Dan Byrne 23rd, and Kevin Wakefield down in 24th place. Good luck, Dan Byrne, coming through the field there. Stephanie Bigley in 25th, Shannon Wright 26th, Dean Sinkovic down in 27th, Ben Simpson 28th, David Simmons 29th, Jamie Davis is down in 30th, then Sam Chapman, Brent Russell and Tom Brown round out the grid here for race number 2. And again, they're taking absolute age to get on the grid.
Yeah, race control just doing a little bit more of a briefing for race 2 there. I can hear them coming over there. They've just finished that. It's about 1:30 to go. So, yeah, you got through that grid pretty quickly there. I think we may need to reassess how long we give the broadcast team to go through the grid before we go racing, I think.
Yeah, we don't need to give us too long. I can, do a broadcast at literally the drivers get on instantly. So I'm speed reading 25 people as quickly as generally possible. So, I think too long, but let's, give these ones a little bit of an hurry up, eh? Come on, boy. Sort it out.
So we kind of got it right in race 1 with the safety cars. I said 2, you said 0, we had 1. So what do you reckon this time?
40 minutes, cars more spread out. I'm going to go 0 again.
Yep, okay. I'm going to go 1 because I think I can hear some talk about drivers being on some slick tyres here. Let's see what happens as they all join the grid.
Well, I can tell you now, currently at this moment in time, they're all on wets.
Yep, I can see that. Everyone that's joined the grid is on a wet, and I tell you what, I would still be on a wet myself. It's deceptive in iRacing with a drying track. You think it looks dry, but until that spray stops coming off from the centre of your car, the centre of your rear diffuser, you're not even considering switching to slick tyres.
I fully agree. These guys are still on the
joining. We've got 3 seconds to go. I hope they're there now.
There you go. Now we are. We're going to be up and running. The lights are going to be on. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Ladies and gentlemen, race 2 is green, green, green.
Car slow away at the back.
Yeah, it's 40 minutes here. Now we've got Dan Batouche taking up the whole shot. Dan Gallows in there. Cat Casinos. Donahue getting escaped, but it's Dan Batouche. He takes the whole shot into turn 1. There's a lot of free wide action further back here. Faulkner's already up to 5th. I'm not quite sure how he obviously all of a sudden managed that one, but De Bono is in 9th. There's been an incident at the back.
There's a spinner at the front.
But I believe that was Bartouche going off as well. Now there's a Velocity Simlabs. That's Cat Casinos. And at the moment, Ben Faulkner's gone from 9th all the way down to 2nd, and we're only 4 corners in here. The man, the myth, the legend, the machine is absolutely flying. David Gallo sitting in 3rd. There's been a lot of carnage. There has been a lot of
Okay,
carnage.
we've got a car spinning and a big accident
TD.
heading down to turn 4.
Oh, coming back across the track. Oh, this has got to be a safety car all day.
Safety car has been called, yep.
Oh.
I noticed that Dylan De Bono is up into, what's that, P5, so he's done a pretty good job of working his way through as well.
There had to be a safety car in there. That was just...
Yes, safety car has been called, yep.
All right, let's see where this... So this is the first kind of incident. Simmons right, and I believe Brent Wassel. Simmons is all out of control there. Where are you going, son? Goes hard on the brakes. Is he going to spin that back end round? No, he comes across the nose and gets, unfortunately, off the side of the circuit. Then we've got Dan Byrne. I have to try and decipher this for a minute because there's a lot going on. Who had his own moment going around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to wrap the nose? He is, and then they drive, unfortunately, into the barrier, come across the middle of the track, and then about other people get involved in that. Wayne Edwards.
That was a big hit.
I'm wondering if this is off off what Wayne Edwards thought, or if he's the one being dragged across the nose of Danny Byrne. He is. Then what happens when he comes back into the race circuit? Here it comes. Ouch.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, look, unfortunately, Dan Byrne didn't maintain overlap on the outside around the entire corner, and then put his nose on the outside on the exit. And yeah, Wayne's just got no idea that he's there, I think, and just takes his normal line to the exit, and around they go.
Oh, that was Thomas Donahue. This is where, look at this, bang. Tomlin.
He's done a good job of actually holding his brakes there. He had the potential to come all the way across the track. Geez, there's a bit of flow-on effect going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm really not quite surprised that we're under safety car. I wonder if this was... That was somehow involved in something here. I wonder if he come and got caught up in this next lot. He did. Bang! Ouch!
Yeah, I think that was that the 15 that came across the track there? That's Mark Cochran, I think, who... Yeah, just guys trying to avoid the incident that's going on, and because it's wet, just losing control of their cars.
So that was kind of, we think, towards the end of it there, that Mitch Noble had a moment. Don't worry, guys, the safety car is still running around. It's under.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch.
Yeah, it's just gone around. Yeah, Mitch.
And there's a couple of others, but yeah, that's going to bring out the. Well, we've got the safety car running on circuit, so that's going to be interesting. Me going none, and I've already lost, and then we're only on lap 2.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn race control up here and see if I can pick up what's going on. There's a bit of chatter going on at the moment.
Really surprised to be honest. There was a lot of accident. Going Tony Brown as Tom Brown being on dries. I hope that's not the case. TD also on dries.
Yeah, I think it's too early for that.
Oh, we're going to find out how he gets on it. Nope, doesn't even stop the car.
Nah.
He's going to apply the power and end up with his back end going down, coming off the bank in. I'm going to follow Mr. Donahue just to see how long it takes him to catch up to the pack here and whether or not this is going to be a good move. We've seen this with the Carlin boys. It didn't work out so well for them. There was a hint of talk of dry, and then they went on to it's got to break so much earlier.
Yeah, the car will just want to push wide everywhere on the dry tyres here. There's far too much spray coming off the back of that car to be ready for dry tyres, I think.
Yeah. Quite sure Thomas has done the right thing here. Lost him dearly for that, or he's just absolutely pulled a master stroke. I'm a bit worried about Tom Brown. He seems to be having more moments under the safety car than anything else here. Tom again looks like he's gone round one more, but it is going to be Tyson Hammer.
He's showing up on the slicks as well, by the looks of things, Tom Brown.
Yeah.
There are four cars that are that have caught in an incident to race control, from what I can gather from that melee on lap 1. So race control will get the safety car out the way, and then they'll start looking at those incidents.
Yeah, there's the tyre situation. Wets all the way through, and then Tom Brown dry, Thomas Donahue dry. So that was the right choice. Jordan Mead, go Pringle. Yeah. Jackson there, of course. So Jackson. Am I going blind here, Greg?
Jackson Pringle got a terrible start. He's the guy that I called at the start that had got off the line very slowly, but he's up to P9 now, so he's actually done okay on that first lap. That poor start might have taken him out of all the carnage there, fortunately for him.
Yeah, he's sitting in 9th, so there we go. Jackson, so we'll keep an eye, see how he gets on and see how he climbs up, if he's going to climb up through the order. But yeah, not a start to Tyson Hamner. Got Ben Faulkner tucked in behind him with Gallo, Lavery and De Bono. De Bono did manage to get himself up. Where is he? 6th, 5th place. So there is a back marker in. There is that back marker. So there's Tyson, there's Ben, there's Gallo, there's Lavery. There's De... Oh no, it is. Oh, I was counting the safety car. Donut. Yeah. I was like, hold on a minute. Far too many cars.
Yeah. I think they're all sorted out now. It sounds like safety cars coming in at the end of this lap, JP.
So here we go. Again, this car should run away. Never to be seen, hopefully, again. But we'll see. That one thoroughly works for the safety car. Adam can get it back in. Oh, well, he's not pulling away here, Greg. Is he going one more?
Yeah, I thought I heard Tyson announce that he was coming in at the end of this lap. He's going now. No, they might have called that off. They might have had something else they need to deal with. Someone's out of position or something along those lines. That means they have decided not to go green this lap. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, but it not pull away. So have likely to have one more lap.
He's definitely staying out there, isn't he? Yeah, so it looks like we do have one more lap under safety car. Those guys that are on the dry tyres, the theory in their heads is that they've made a stop now. They've gone onto the dries. They're expecting this race to dry out, and they're hoping to not have to pit for dry tyres later in the race. But I think at this stage of the race, with the track this wet, they're going to lose 6-7 seconds a lap to these guys. So within only 2 or 3 laps, they're going to give up that advantage they gained by not having to pit again. So I'm not sure that works out. That might be a bit of a Ferrari strategy going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, swipe.
You're probably not wrong. That's the problem. Tom Brown is. I think Tom's just. Yeah, I'm a bit worried that Josh King's in, Jamie Davis is in.
Yep. I was just noticing those guys come into the pit lane. Let's see what they bolt on.
Davis has stayed on the wets. King stayed. Yeah. Both of them.
Yeah, they're both on wets.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, Why have they stopped?
Yeah, the pit exit is still closed, so the field's still coming past. So race control will open the pit exit.
Go. Good having Greg. Actually knows what's going on. Not that
yeah.
Steve doesn't.
So as the field comes past the start-finish line, race control will close the pit exit so that cars that have pitted under safety car don't rejoin in the middle of the pack somewhere. So it's to make sure that those guys that have come into the pits will form up on the end of the line where they should be.
Oh, there you go. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much for filling us in on that one. But got this itching that might have a safety. I've just got this funny feeling with the way races opened up. Might be another one. Not that I like admitting there's going to be safety cars.
Yeah, it's there's another car off there. Is that Dylan DeBono that's gone off under safety car?
Yeah.
I was about to say that as this track starts to dry out, you'll probably find these guys start to get a little bit more confident, and that'll cause more incidents as they try to take advantage of the increasing grip. So if they might go into a corner thinking that the grip's going to be better than it was last lap and find out that it's not. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, anytime the field's close together like this, there's potential for car-to-car contact, and that's what we certainly saw on lap 1 that caused this safety car.
Can DeBono retake his place?
No. So the rules are if there's a car off the track or clearly having an incident or clearly damaged, that the cars that are coming by may go past, and when you recover from an incident under safety car, you need to rejoin in the position or remain in the position in which you rejoined.
Okay, well, here we go. The race start is going to be up and running. It's all going to be waiting on what Tyson Hamlin's going to do. He's holding. If he wants to take the victory, he's got to go straight to the right-hand side, because Faulkner is going to send it up at the inside of you already. If you have not blocked that off, we're likely to be sent at some point here going into turn 1. Left that inside line wide open, chased the grip on the outside. Tyson Hamner, Ben Faulkner, Gallo in there, Lavery still in there, DeBono slicing back through the field here, but let's follow this Faulkner situation. Faulkner's chased, it's all day, he's going to get it up there.
He's going to get it up there, and I was just about to say those guys are teammates, so they won't get together.
Oh, DeBono's just taken 2 places, he's now up into 6th here. So Dylan DeBono, TD Thomas Donahue got off the side of the circuit again. So unfortunately for him, he's now going to be down even further positions. Chris Tomlin has also been off the track and is coming back on. Hamner's losing about 1.45 seconds over Ben Faulkner. And then we've got Gallo, Lavery, Katakazinos and DeBono. I'm expecting DeBono to go through here. I think DeBono's got the pace on the next 4 cars in front of it.
Yeah, definitely. He'll round these guys up pretty quickly, but unfortunately, it has deprived us of a race at the front here. I think because the time it's going to take Dylan to come through these 4 cars, Ben Faulkner's going to stretch away. He's already got a nearly 3-second lead over Tyson Hamner, and it'd be interesting to see if Tyson actually plays a bit of a team role here and sort of helps Ben get away a little bit at the front.
Yeah. That's probably obviously what's going to happen, right? Let's be real about it, because anyone would do the same thing. I don't think Tyson's got the speed. I don't think he's got the pace. And I think once DeBono gets onto the back of him and clears Lavery and Gallo, which I don't think is going to be very, very long.
It's going to happen now.
Yeah, he's going to get both of these, if not on the run down into turn 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Lavery's going to be looking to try and pull out. DeBono's going to be slotting in. There goes Lavery. Here comes DeBono. Is he going to follow him all the way across? Lavery's left the inside door wide open, Dylan. Oh.
Yeah. I don't think the 3 wide on the inside is going to work in these conditions, unfortunately, for Dylan there, so it has to wait a little while longer.
Yeah, but you see, the interesting thing is Gallo's now going to be down on the inside when they come round the banking, so we should see DeBono and Lavery both running past here. There you go. You can
100%.
see he's got no pace, Gallo, on that inside line. De Bono's going to get through. Lavery's going to get through. It's all about that upper high limit on that banking. They've got to be able to make sure that he can run up the high side, because at the moment in time, Gallo had nothing. There was literally no response to anything there, and I don't think it's going to have anything much. But Jackson Pringle is going to try and go around the outside of turn 7 as well. Oh, Lavery's gone round. Now the question was that on his own?
Yes.
Oh, are you sure?
Yep, 100% was on his own.
Oh, it was.
Just on the inside there, lost the rear, and was lucky not to collect anyone else. So that's almost a good save there, but just didn't quite work out for him. That's put De Bono right on the tail of Hanmer now, though.
Yeah, Hamlet's going to try and look and close him off. You can't force him, dude. He is alongside. You've got to give him room.
Yep.
You cannot be... He ain't an orange in a juicer, mate. You can't just squeeze him and hope his head don't pop. Because at this moment in time, you've lost that inside line. He is well above you. You're going to turn over his nose. Bro.
I think that's going to be a redress there.
Yeah, Zero... Putting it bluntly.
Yeah, just tried to... He knew he was alongside him and still tried to turn in for the apex. So, yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see if Dylan calls that in. I think Dylan's going to round him up regardless. But, yeah, look, that was some hard racing going on there and some hard defending right on the edge of the rule book there from Tyson. So, I don't think Dylan's called anything in, so we'll have to wait and see if race control's going to step in there at all, or if they're just indeed just going to wait to see if Dylan gets the move done regardless.
Well, he's going to get the move done, but he's going to try and have his nose chopped off. You're going to be able to leave him room this time. He did. Now let's see what happens on the exit here. De Bono's still going to be trying to go alongside. He needs that outside line for turn 3. He kind of needs to get a run now, push him down onto the inside so he can't come up on him. He did come up on him anyway. Oh my dearie me.
I think I just heard the call from race control for car 018 to redress behind car 11, so let's see if that gets done now.
What have we done? I get the team game.
This is going to end in tears if that doesn't happen soon.
He's still... Come on!
Yeah, told you. And that's his own fault, I'm afraid, Tyson. Dylan's holding his line there and Tyson's just trying to bump him off the road and came off second best.
Why is this? If that's intentional wrecking, it wouldn't even be putting him in the session.
It's just silly. It's just silly driving.
Just kick him out. I don't get the point in that. You tried bumping him down the start-finish strike. You tried taking him out on the banking. You tried hitting him again, and then you went in deep in him again. How much more intentional do we need?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't understand that. If I was Dylan De Bono in that car, I'd be fuming. I would be livid about now.
100% I would be, and I have no doubt that he probably is. And they're probably the only thing that's saved us from Dylan De Bono getting on comms is the fact that he's still racing and Tyson is not.
If De Bono went out now, I would have expected two things to happen. A, De Bono to lose his nut, and Amner to say goodbye. That was zero IQ intentional wrecking I've ever seen before in my whole entire life. Absolutely ridiculous efforts at trying to defend there. That wasn't even defended. But there we go. That's just my opinion. I'll be welcome to come into the RC booth after and explain my comments. But that was just absolutely insane on my part. I've got to be blatantly honest. I get holding somebody up when you're actually doing it properly, but no, not for me on that one, I'm afraid. But let's get back into the racing. We've got just over 21.5 minutes to go here. David Gallo still out on the racetrack in 6th. Dougie Gowan sucked in right behind him at this moment in time. Going into turn 2, he's going to be looking at coming on the inside. I can guarantee Dougie's not going to send it up and try and hit somebody off around the bank. And there we go. Dougie does what he's supposed to do, keeps the inside line. What about Sam Katagazinos? He's got Pringle coming alongside at the moment here as well. Into turn 4. Pringle makes it through. Just about. They're still running side by side down into Shevlak. Down over the hill he's going to go. Pringle's going to try the outside. Katagazinos is going to hug that inside line. Job done for Jackson Pringle. Great run.
Yeah,
and a great
unfortunately,
overtake.
a lot more grip out there on the outside line for Jackson there. As soon as Sam Curry committed to the inside line, found himself on the rubber, and you saw the car just wash up the racetrack. So that was good driving there from Jackson. He's got the job done, and now he's out after De Bono. So he's actually done well to come back from 9th where he was under the safety car before.
Yeah, that's the updates on the pros, the pro-ams and the AMs. Ronald Allen leading the AMs again. Great job from Ronald, 2.5 seconds up. Cam Hardwick got Callan Hodgkinson tucked in right behind him, half a second back. And then, of course, we know Ben Faulkner is out in front by 11 seconds, but we've seen how that one materialised once more. So no real lead battles in classes. A lot of battles are for track position within the actual overall standings. We got Jamie Davis, Ben Simpson, David Simmons as Simmons 747. Is he up the inside? Well, he did a good job over Ben Simpson there as well. I think Simpson gave him a heck of amount of room once more for David Simmons to make his overtake. So great job from them. But Ronald Allen leading the AMs, sitting in 13th overall as well, Greg. That's an achievement for Ronald all on his own, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good effort there from Ronald. As we said in the pre-race, he's been right up there. He was leading. Did he win for the AMs in race 1?
Yeah,
did he?
He did.
I can't recall.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he's been very consistent, and he's dicing up there with a couple of pros and pro-ams. So wouldn't be surprised if we see Ronald go on to take the AM Championship if he keeps racing, and then I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see him elevated up to Pro-Am next season, if that's indeed what happens.
Well, if he wins the championship, surely he must be.
Oh, yeah, that's a very, very big part of it. Very
Yeah.
big part of it. So
he's clearly got the pace to be hanging with the big boys. He's holding up Dan Byrne here. Well, not holding him up, racing with Dan Byrne alongside at the moment and doing an exceptional job as Ronald. So fair play to you, son. Go on, have it, and put yourself in a position there to go and keep fighting, which is what he is doing. He's still managing to stay ahead of Dan Byrne on that run down into turn number 8 there. He's going to be going around the right-hander, and if anything, he's actually opened up a gap over Dan Byrne. He's got Sam Chapman alongside him currently here again, going into the last 19 minutes. Greg, what do we think on pit stop cycles, pit stop strategies? Do we think some of them would have saved fuel under that safety car?
Oh, they all would have saved fuel under the safety car. We saw a couple of guys that have already stopped, so they'll come through and gain a few spots when some of these other guys start to peel into pit lane. Whether or not those guys can go to the finish, look, it's quite possible. You do use less fuel on a wet track, so your fuel mileage will improve a little bit there. And especially with the few laps we had under the safety car as well. The other thing that the safety car does is it reduces the length of, I'm just watching that, it reduces the length of the race as well. So for every 4 minutes you spend under safety car, you're only doing 1 lap. That's 1 lap less you're going to do in the race. So that comes into play with your fuel strategies as well. We're well and truly over halfway now though, so we will start to see some of those lead boys coming in, I'd expect, unless of course they can go all the way to the finish on a single tank, which I don't know, I highly doubt.
No, Allen's just lost that place to Chapman. He's still managing to hold on to Byrne here. Baker's just got him round, unfortunately. Gallo's going to be going around the banking. Lavery and Hamner are racing together again. Lavery's gone around the outside. He should get that run on that outside line here. On the way down, they're going to be 2 by 2.
Yeah, of course, Lavery had that moment at the same corner that Tyson did with Dylan De Bono, so it's not surprising those two are together on the track again, actually.
Yeah, they both come back together. Lavery did manage to make it through on this one. Now Lavery setting after Gallo and Baker, so these 4 cars are going to be coming together very, very shortly, and we'll see, hopefully, a lot more... words. A lot more respectful racing.
Yeah, look, some of these guys, I was going to comment on Ronald Allen's driving earlier when you were saying he was dicing or fighting with Daniel Byrne. It was good to see really good, steady, predictable positioning of his car. Some of the AM guys, they can be a little bit unpredictable with where they're going to go and when, and they can get a little bit nervous when they have the pro guys around them as well, but he held his nerve and communicated with his car and put it in exactly where he needed to put it to stay ahead of Daniel Byrne. Of course, Sam Chapman's now come through the both of them. And we all know how fast Sam Chapman is. Meanwhile, speaking of fast, Ben Faulkner, 12 seconds ahead of Dylan DeBono now.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Who, by the way, just set the fastest lap of the race, Dylan DeBono, 2 minutes, 0.76.
The 2 minute, well, Faulkner had it briefly there. Lavery and Gallo going side by side down into turn 1. Lavery just popping out a little bit, making it difficult for Gallo to turn in. They have managed to break away from the number in Tyson Hamner in 9th there. So these guys opening up a gap. Lavery getting all a little bit squirrely up onto the bank, and they go. Gallo's as high as he can possibly allow it, and he's carrying as much speed, and he did do that there. A great job from him. We've got Ryan Price in the pits. What about Dan Batouche? Well, he's got Stephanie Piccoli alongside him here, as these guys are heading through turn 2 and into turn 3. The right-hander of 2. Batouche is going to look try and high. Piccoli's looking on the inside. You're going to lose that position. I know it's for an over. Oh, Batouche didn't go as high as I thought he was going to go there.
No, interesting that he's chosen to take the low line there. But it hasn't stopped his run down the back here, though. He's still got a reasonable exit.
Yeah, I know. I was just so surprised he wasn't so high up and taking it lower than what I would have expected it to be taken from Dan Batouche there. But say, go Stephanie Piccoli, fight him all the way, go have some of it, as these guys continue to find out further down this battle for 19th, 20th and 21st, as Jamie Davis is on the grid and out in that GR86. Carl Lavery and this Tony Baker, David Gallo, Tyson Hamler battle is still kicking off. So they've got these 4 cars coming together as well. Ryan Price blinked and gone into the pits. Hamler's been into the pits. We've also got Danny Burns been into the pits. We have Luke Crum and also Mark Cochran has been into. Nobody took the dry tyres, Greg, and probably not was expected. They kind of wasn't expected to.
No, I wouldn't think so. There's only sort of 13 minutes left in the race. The track still looks reasonably wet.
Greg? I think I've just lost Greg. Oh, hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, mate?
I can hear you now, mate. Everything all right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I got the old disconnect noise in the ears, and you started asking me to report in. But yeah, sorry, I was saying that the boys that are pitting now, that's right, the boys that are pitting now, I'd definitely be looking to keep the nice warm wets on this track surface. The track's still just wet enough, and
Tom Brown
putting a nice cold set of slick tyres on now would not be the right move, I don't think. So I think everyone will stay on wets to the end of the race.
Why is that car still perched out the side of the circuit? Is it Shane Nowens? It is Nowens. What did he do? And can he get that car back? Or are we just about to see another safety car? And that is why he still sat there.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he still there? I think he might have cleared. I think he might have got going now.
It's got going.
Yeah, I haven't heard a call from race control for quite a while actually. So everything seems to have settled down nicely.
Oh, here we go. We're coming into the last 12 minutes. There are some that have not pitted. There are some that have pitted. See whether or not people can get to the end. I'd be very surprised if they actually can. Last time out, Faulkner just went and decided he would put in a 1:59.9. Bono on a 2:01.17 as Lavery side by side with Baker now going down into turn 1. Lavery on the left in the green, Baker on the right. It is going to be Carl Lavery. He sailed through. Is he going to be able to hold it on the exit? He is. Job done. Past Baker goes Lavery there. Gallo managed to hold on from Chapman, who's moved his way back up into 9th place. Cleared Mr. Tyson Hamner, which I wasn't too surprised about. I wondered if there was certain amount of please, son, move your car. It is James there going down on in the Vermilion Boys team. Danny Byrne and Cam Hardwick side by side currently on the run down into Shevlet turn 4. Do we think people are going to get to the end?
Well, I'm starting to think it might be possible. But I just did a quick check. Looks like we've got Jackson Pringle off the road now. Is he requesting a tow? We may have a safety car here.
Safety?
Yes, he has requested a tow, and race control has said stand by. So we'll just wait and see.
Oh, he's broken. He already collapsed, isn't he?
Yeah, he's actually left the circuit already broken. So I'm not sure what's gone on there.
No.
No call of safety car just yet.
Oh, actually,
this will be
this
will be the indicator if people need to pit or not, because if they do need to pit and they think there's going to be a safety car, they will dive in.
Oh, of course.
He's been given permission to tow, so no safety car.
That time.
Sad face. Yeah, it would have been good to see that 13.7 second lead from first to second, and the other 15-second gap from second to third disappear and get a race to the finish there. But obviously race control's decided he was parked in a safe enough position that they could give him permission to tow. There was quite a big gap between a couple of cars on the circuit as well to get that done, which is also a consideration.
Well, we've got just 9 minutes to go. This was Mitch Noble, Ronald Allen for a brief moment. They did end up being together. There's going to be a strong draft for Ronald Allen. He's going to be closing up now. How's he going to get on here, and is he going to be able to make it through? That's going to be a second and a half if he does make that through. I've got a funny feeling that's Tommy.
He's got to pull it up.
That's Donahue.
He's done well. He kept it pretty tight there, Ron Allen. That was a good move from him. I think was that Donahue just getting out the way for those boys? I think it was.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling it was Donahue, but yeah. Baker is now got Hamner tucked up. So these guys have come into contact. Obviously, they were cleared by Chapman and Gallo and Lavery. And Dougie Gowans is still sitting in fourth. Great job from Dougie there. Didn't mention much about Dougie doing this race. He's kind of gone about doing his business like a little slidey little ninja as Dougie Gowans, and is sitting in fourth place at the moment. Great job from him. 8 minutes. It's looking more and more that we might get no stops out of some of these cars.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting actually. They do have a 32% fuel tank limit, which I'd be surprised if that will go more than sort of 15 laps maybe. And these guys have already done 13. So if anything, it's just going to be a little splash and dash at the end. But who knows, they may have been able to save enough under that safety car, and because of the wet weather, we'll have to wait and see. Dylan and Ben were trading some fastest laps there for a while. It's kind of settled down a little bit now. They're both lapping around the same speed of a 2 minutes 0.1. And we've got Sam Kay coming into the pits. That might be the first of our leaders to pit for fuel. So that may be the start of something.
Yeah.
DeBono's gone round. DeBono's gone round.
Was this all on his own? It looks like it's likely to be going into turn 2. Didn't hold it.
Yeah, Dylan.
Self-inflicted mistake. He still managed to hold on though. He's still got second place. Now 26 seconds.
Yeah, he was lucky enough that Sam Kay had pitted and Dougie was a fair way back there. But of course, if Dylan does now have to pit, that might put him behind Sam Kay when he comes out of the pit lane.
Sam ready.
Yeah, Sam pitted on that lap, so I think that might be the first of the scheduled stops, if you will. So we'll have to see if when these leaders pit and where Dylan DeBono comes out in relation to Sam.
Yeah,
interestingly enough, sorry mate, interestingly enough, I've just noticed that Callan Hodgkinson is currently running P2 in the Pro-Am. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Cam Hardwick for that race, and so far 0 incident points for Callan. So a nice clean race for him.
Faulkner's in the pit lane. Faulkner is in the pit lane. Is it going to be an out and in first place? De Bono is, what is he going to do? This is going to be the question now for Dylan De Bono. Is he going to go, or is he going to have to come into the pits?
He's pitting, I think.
Reckon? Yes.
Yeah.
I think this could be the start of the rush of everybody. Dougie Gowans going in, Lavery, Gallo. Gowans is not going in.
Gowans is probably a little bit lighter on fuel than those other boys, so that's not bad from him. And I think he'll probably only get one extra lap out of it, though.
Yeah, but it's still exciting, isn't it? Dougie Gowans not.
It is.
Yeah, why not? You know, let's make it up, Hardy. Dougie Gowans not going in the pit lane, everybody. So we'll see what happens
Just
here.
keeping an eye on Sam Kazunas here coming down the pit straight and where he is in relation to Dylan De Bono. Is Dylan De Bono out of the pits now?
Yeah,
he is.
He's up the road already. It's 3 seconds behind Tyson Hamner.
Interesting. So, but Tyson Hamner didn't pit after his incident earlier, so he is still to stop.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be cleared there for Dylan De Bono. Ben Simpson has unfortunately just had a incident. That's Sam Chapman. See at the bottom with Tyson Hamner touching right behind him. Carl Lavery sitting in third and Dougie Gowans in second. But again, both of these guys have not pitted here. So Dougie Gowans, Carl Lavery. So we'll see if they're going to have to pit. But we expect them to be coming in this time very, very shortly. And here that I think on circuit at the moment it's going to be Faulkner, Chapman, De Bono, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you are right at this stage, yeah.
I don't get called that from... How does that taste? I'm right.
No, I think you do. I think you're absolutely right there. Let's see if Doug comes into the pit lane. No, Doug's going around again. So that is very interesting. Only 3 minutes to go. I'm just riding on board with Doug at the moment to see if he lifts and coasts into turn one. He does not. That's interesting that Doug is not saving fuel at the moment. So either he thinks he's good to get home, or he's just going for it and trying to gain as many spots as he can.
Before what?
Everyone else is in the pit lane now, though.
Once he... Hold on. So, going to gain as many spots as he can, but he ain't going to gain that many if he runs out of fuel. Is he?
No, that's 100% right. So he's obviously got a target lap that he's working towards. If he needs to pit this lap and he's got enough fuel to make it round this lap, then there's absolutely no point fuel saving on the way in. So he's trying to put in as fast an in lap as he can do, and then hopefully jump some guys in the pits while they're all dicing around. It's a pretty tight race around sort of P9 through to P11. So he may be thinking that he may be able to make up some spots amongst those guys when he comes out of the pits, or he's going to come around on this lap, and Ben Faulkner, who's 15 seconds up the road, may in fact and will take the white flag.
Yeah.
So it could be, if Dougie's still got one more lap in the tank, he might be able to get through, and for a pretty impressive P2 here. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I won't write down anymore. Normally I predict what's going to happen, but I don't really want to predict this. I'm not sure how this is going to work out for Doug Gowans, whether or not he's going to come in. Ben Faulkner's going to take the white flag. What are you doing? Comes out. Surely he can't go into the pit lane now. Surely.
It would be amazing if he can make it to the finish. No, he's in. So he needs a splash. Yeah. It was a good try.
Yeah, it was a good.
It'd just be interesting where he pops out now, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it, for him, and where is he going to come out from? You know what I mean?
He's going to be down around Jamie Davis or so. He's rolling again, so he might be around Dave Gallo, P8 perhaps.
Well, we're going to find out. There is Gallo. There is Gowans is out, but he got out in front. He's coming out.
Gowans is out, and he does have the inside line on turn 1, so the car coming down on track. So he's P4. That's a pretty good strategy play there from Doug. So we've got Ben Faulkner, Sam Chapman, Dylan DeBono, and then Doug Gowans just off the podium. But that's a pretty good effort from Doug.
Lavery, Cagazinos. Lavery's going to have that high line. Sam, you can come up. You've got to come up and cover him off. He's going to run around your inside now. Going to be a side-by-side run here. Lavery does manage to get through. That's just carrying pure amount of speed up through turn 3 for Carl Lavery. Did an absolute stellar job. The leaders coming into 11 and 12. We'll keep an eye on him. DeBono and Chapman were very close, but unfortunately they're not anymore. So Dylan DeBono, not too sure how he's gone 5.5 seconds back there. So might have had a moment at some point. I'm sure we'll see if Greg can have a look and see what happened to Dylan DeBono. Tyson Hamner, David Gallo, scrapping it out further down. But your leader and your winner of race number 2 is going to go over the line. Mr. Ben Faulkner is going to take this victory. Sam Chapman, 26 seconds behind him here. And Mr. Chapman's going to come over the line. Great job from him. And then we've got Dylan DeBono, who I'm wondering whether or not he's run out of fuel. When he has run out of fuel, as Dylan DeBono, he was spluttering the car right to the end. So Dougie Gowans, he did not put enough in there, Greg, and is now suffering the consequences of that one.
Wow. That's extraordinary from Dylan. I don't know why you would not put enough fuel in the car. He only pitted on, really 2 laps ago. So that's interesting from Dylan. He's obviously just, crew chief for the iRacing auto fueler has under predicted it based on the average fuel use, perhaps in the wet versus the dry. I don't know, but that's unfortunate for Dylan, and worked out for Dougie Gowans, who takes 3rd place and a well-deserved podium.
Yeah, DeBono's still not, I think, going to get to the end of the line here. He's not. He's parked it on the side. It's going to be a run down though. The Callum Hardwick, and I believe that's Josh King side by side. Who's going to get it as they go over the line? They're leaning on each other here. Gentlemen, be careful. And it is going to be Callum Hardwick over Josh King. Great job from them guys. Stephanie Piccoli and Kevin Wakefield are battling that out in the AMS. This is for the final podium spot. Can Steph get this podium spot away from Kevin here? They're going down now on the run into the final corner, turn 13. Definitely looking for the inside line. Nope, may have just jeopardised herself coming out of that one there, Greg. I think needs to be a little bit higher. Staying in behind Kevin for that run, I think, would have been a little bit more handy.
Yeah, I think she's just admitted defeat there at the end. But good run from Steph. She's done well. It looks like, good races also from Ronald Allen, who's taken out the AM, and Mark Cochran, who got up for the Pro-Am, which is a bit of a change at the end there.
Thomas Donoghue looks like he may have also run out of fuel. Dylan DeBono is just...
There's a few guys, isn't there?
Yeah, Dylan DeBono is just in front of us up the road there. DeBono didn't... didn't... Dylan DeBono.
No.
Let's bring you up the race results here. And it is Ben Faulkner, your winner, with Sam Chapman in 2nd. And Dougie Gowans grabbed 3rd. Carl Lavery 4th. Sam Katsinos in 5th. David Gallo 6th. Tyson Hamner 7th. Tony Baker 8th. Jamie Davis in 9th. Mark Cochran grabbing the win in the Pro-Ams in 10th. Dan Byrne 11th. Mitch Noble 12th. Callum Hodgkinson 13th. Luke Crum 14th. Dan Batouche 15th. Callum Hardwick 16th. With Josh King rounding out the top 17. Ronald Allen wrapped up another win in the AMS, 2 for 2 for him. Chris Tomlin in 19th, Dean Sinkovic in 20th, and Brent Russell grabbed himself a 3rd place in the AMS. Ryan Price and 2nd place, sorry for Brent. Ryan Price and Kevin Wakefield with Stephanie Piccoli there, 23rd and 24th. Then Dylan DeBono out of fuel, 1 lap down they've got him as. Jackson Pringle, Wayne Edwards, David Simmons, Shannon Wright, Shane Nowens, Thomas Donoghue, Ben Simpson, and of course Tom Brown, who had absolute rotten feature, the last of the finishes there. So all in all, very interesting of racing, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of discussions about some of the racing here, but we can catch up with some of these guys now and have a chat and see how their race was. We'll pick up with your second place man who finished in the pros here. I was going to grab Sam Chapman. We can have a chat with Sam who finished second overall. Sam, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
You're not too bad. It's up and down night, but a nice finish.
Yeah, it was a tough night for people there, mate. It was a bit rough out there on the in the rain.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. Disappointing cross race because I just threw it away. It was, comfortable there in second, but that downhill right-hander and trying to catch Ben. Once he got ahead after us fighting, yeah, just took it a bit too hard. But really tricky out here in the rain. Like there's not a lot of places you can go to find grip, but once it starts to dry out, you can get a little bit more.
Yeah, you did a great job as well. Had some nice little battles in there, battles in the racing. What was it like out there in, you've apparently gained 29 spaces in race number 2. You've seen some battles, Sam. Tell us about the run through.
Yeah, I've seen some things. I've been to war and back, but it was tough. But I guess with the rain as well, there's a bit more of a pace differential sometimes, so you can sort of make overtakes. But I guess with the drive-through as well, I sort of got up to about 15th and then, back down to 28th or 6th or something again. I didn't think we'd get much out of it, but it also meant that I could, after that crash in the first lap and getting that fast repair, fill up a little bit more and just fuel save to the end. It was a really difficult task, but was able to do it. And it sort of meant that you could, not push quite as hard and just find grip where you need it because you're not trying to fly into corners at top speed.
Yeah, well, I think that was it. I think overall it's been a very interesting race and one that I'm sure people were talking about for quite a while. But Sam, thanks so much for joining me there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks, JP. All the Vermilion sponsors, as usual. I'm sure Bendy will go through the minute tick as well, so I won't go through it too much. But and thank you guys for broadcasting.
All right, mate. Awesome stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining us there, Sam, and we'll catch up with you soon next week, hopefully.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Sam. Good race, mate.
Now, next up, we're going to have a chat with the man in the AMs. I'm going to jump down to Ronald Allen. Another 2 out of 2 for Ronald. That's 5 races. He has won in a row and taken the victory. Ronald Allen, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. You can hear me okay?
Mate, I can hear you just fine. How's it all going?
Yeah, going fine. That was a workout tonight in those wet conditions.
Yeah, it was, but you've done well, mate. There's 5 races in a row that you've won in the AMs now.
Yeah, well, I'm still just going by my same routine. He's just trying to keep it on the island, especially in conditions like that, and stay out of trouble. If somebody's faster than me, I'll just let them past. I will, if depending on how late it is in the race, try and race them a little bit, but at the end of the day, if they're not in my class, they're not my problem, so to speak.
Oh, dude, I physically agree with you. I think at the end of the day, if you're racing anybody that, as you say, is not in your class, then there's no point being there racing with them. You might as well let them go and see how you get on. But it's doing you well in the AM Championship, though.
Yeah, lucky I didn't show this form earlier. They would have moved me up like Thomas.
Well, yeah, dude, you would have gone higher, wouldn't you? But, listen, it's going to be interesting to see how you get on. Can you catch the people in front of you in the AM Championship? Jason Depp, Shannon Wright, Simmons, Wakefield, Johnston.
Well, I pulled back something like 62 or 68 points last week, so it depends on where everybody else finishes. Like the first race, I got a good haul of points. I finished 11, and I think the next AM was 22nd, so there's a big chunk there. So, yeah, it really depends how the rest of the year goes, whether it's possible.
I think we'll be able to tell after these ones, Ronald, to see how you're going to get on and whether or not you can get close. I think you can if you carry on winning as you have been already. But congratulations for your 5 wins in a row. 2 here this evening, 3 last week there, mate. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
No, I'm all good. I do my own racing for myself, so I don't have any sponsors or anything. So, yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, Ronald, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy, and catch up with you soon.
Thank you. See ya.
Right. And So we've done them. Let's go to the Pro-Am Victor. Here, one, Mr. Mark Cochran. Mark, welcome into the booth, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you? It's been a long time since I've been in here.
I was just, you know what, Mark? I just sat there and thought that's your first victory this season.
It is. I've haven't been very consistent, haven't done a lot of practice, been a bit busy with work, lots of marking to do.
Mate, that's the job, isn't it? I'm going to presume you're in school, teaching?
Yes.
Yes.
Busy time of the year.
Well, not for us in the UK, mate. We're on holiday for It might be for you guys, but our teachers were on holiday, so there you go. So they're not busy at all. Rough out there, Mark, wasn't it? It was a bit of a tough one.
Yeah, lots of argy-bargy. The wet weather spiced it up again, as it usually does. But yeah, it was a good race. I think it was. I was hoping for no more safety car in that last race. I was cutting it fine with fuel. I took a gamble, and it's paid off.
Well, I'm going to safely say, Mark, I was wishing for a safety car. Partly due to the fact that the amount of gap that was across the board, I think it would have been great having another last couple of laps shootout. But listen, for you, obviously, yeah, not a good idea. But I think it just would have spiced it up a little bit here. Pro-Am Championship, Mark, what do we think? A long way back there, buddy. Are you just racing for yourself to see how high you can get?
Yeah, well, I missed the first 2 rounds when I was overseas on holiday, so I think it's just me having fun this season, racing, and yeah, just having fun, trying to get a win here and there when I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good. Did you go anywhere nice, mate?
I went to Japan. It was nice and warm compared to the Australian winter.
Oh, well, can't be a bad thing going on in Japan there, mate. But well done on your win, your first win of the season. Congratulations. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, mate?
Yeah, thanks, JP. A big thank you to our incredible sponsors and partners at Apex Esports League, Pagnin Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing, Dubby, Fanatec, Stump Grinding Central Coast, Razor and Chubby Buns Burgers. And of course, thanks to the Apex team for their ongoing support, the viewers and the people who help with our setups.
Awesome stuff. Well, Mark, thanks so much for joining us there, buddy. And look forward to speaking next week, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks, JP.
Take care, man.
See you.
And we're going to do this in this specific order. The man that almost got to the end of the race, but he needed a splash and dash. If only he told Dylan De Bono to do the same thing, because he didn't, and Dylan run out of fuel. Dougie made it through. Dougie Gowans, congratulations on the podium, dear sir.
Hello, mate. Hello, guys. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, poor Dylan. I feel very sorry for him. It's very rare that Dylan runs out of fuel, you know. So we're going to have a look at why he was just under fueled. Yeah, that was a bit of a strange one.
Well, I can tell you there's some information in YouTube chat here, mate. Is that they are probably used in iRacing auto fuel as it's added the safety car laps into the average.
Well, I used it as well, and it's given me the perfect amount. But I probably saved a little bit more under the safety car, which allowed me to go another couple of laps further. And then coming on to that last lap when I had the pit, I actually had 0.8 of a lap left. And gee, I was wondering, you know, can I just clutch it all the way around and continue and maybe stay in second? But I thought, no, I better not take the chance. So I jumped in and grabbed 2 litres of fuel just to finish the race.
Well, I didn't. I thought you might have gone up behind Dylan and pushed him over the line. You know, jeopardised your own race for the team, Dougie.
We did talk about that, but I don't think that's allowed, to be honest. And I was a bit worried that we both might get disqualified.
Oh, I don't know, Greg. Can you give us any more information? Would Dougie have been allowed to slow down and push Dylan over the line?
I don't think there's any rule against it during the race, to be honest, Doug. We used to have that rule when we had the compulsory cooldown lap, but
that's correct.
Yeah, during the race, I think that'd be all about. I don't think we have a rule against it, so it probably could have been a possibility. But no, I'm happy for you, mate, to take advantage of Dylan's misfortune there and find your way through.
Thank you. Well, we can jump in the hot tub time machine and go back 10 minutes if you want, and I'll do exactly that.
Oh, well, I wish that was only possible, mate. I might jump in my hot tub after this, to be blatantly honest with you, but we'll see.
Yeah, but look, I mean, we did talk about it, and yeah, because Dylan said, look, I'm not going to make it. And I said, you know, can I push you across the line? And we just weren't sure, and we just didn't want to take the risk of doing the wrong thing or both of us getting disqualified. So bye-bye, Dylan. What else? Was it?
Yeah.
Don't you know? Bye bye,
Doug,
Dylan. Take care, mate.
Yep.
Doug, before you
mate.
go, did you mentioned you had 0.8 of a lap left when you crossed the line, or when you came into the pit lane? Do you have any idea how much Dylan had left when he crossed the line to start his last lap?
No, I don't know. I would not have a clue, to be honest. As soon as he came out of the pits, he was questioning how much how much fuel he did get, and he said, "I'm not going to make it, boys. I don't think I'm going to make it." And yeah, he tried to save as he was going around, and yeah, with what a quarter of the lap left, he started chugging. So that was it, unfortunately, for Dill.
Oh, anyway, well done, Dougie. Good job tonight.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. It's always nice to just have a nice easy race with no incidents. Very surprising considering it was a wet track at Zandvoort. Very tough.
Yeah, it was, and it's always good to have a bit of a yarn with you there, Dougie. Anyone you want to shout out, mate, before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks to my wife for waiting for me because she's wanting to have a conversation with me. So I'm
Oh,
probably in a
dearie
little bit
me.
of trouble. A little bit of trouble
We'll
at the moment.
keep you
but
in
yeah,
it, Dougie. We'll save you.
good idea. Yeah, the boys at Velocity here to race, Haikoki Power Tools. It's always wonderful hopping on here and having a chat with you guys. Thanks to Race Control, SRW, and your main sponsors. And yeah, look forward to next week.
Oh, man, you take care. Congratulations, Dougie, on your third place.
Thanks, fellas. See you
Take
later.
care,
Bye-bye.
mate. Bye. Right, next up on the list for for people up in the booth, and the final interview, of course, you've got to make him the final interview. He's taken 8 wins across this season. He's just wrapped up another double. That's 4 in a row for Mr. Ben Faulkner, who's joined us here as well, and decides that he didn't want to hang around in the second race. He went and won it by about 17.5 seconds or something. Ben, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you boys?
Well, mate, I've just literally watched you pick up your favourite grandma, put her in a car and go for a drive around Zandvoort completely on your own. How was it out there?
Oh, it was pretty difficult. I didn't know what to expect, really. I didn't have any time at all to practice today, which was a bit unfortunate, but I managed to get the hang of it pretty well. I do like Zandvoort, so yeah, I know the track well, just didn't have any prep for this one.
Well, mate, I would have dread to have seen how far you would have been out in front if you had actually practiced. I've got to be honest. It would have been scary. But listen, dude, you know, 8 wins in a row now, 4 straight wins in the league from the last round to this round. What's going to stop you, Ben?
I don't know. Maybe Osher Schlieben. I'm not Osher Schlieben. I'm not too good there, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really speak on that. It's up to everyone else.
Well, I don't know, mate. To be honest, they can't ballast your car because everybody gets ballast, so it makes them go slower there as well. But this is just, what is it, Ben? What is it that makes you so incredibly quick? Is it control of the car? Is it practice in the car? Clearly, it ain't practice because you didn't practice tonight and you still won. What is it? If I come to you and said, Ben, give me a secret, one little tidbit of what makes you so fast.
Probably car control, use of the slip angle.
Anything else?
He's not going to give away all these secrets.
Doesn't know that away.
I've got to try, haven't I? Right? I'm trying to make everybody catch up towards the end of the season here, mate. Listen, dude, you're doing an exceptional job. Sometimes you run out of words to say, you know what I mean, apart from just how impressive it's been with the amount of the way you're driving your car here this season. I think it's absolutely incredible to be honest. I'm completely envious because I can't even manage to go left round an oval without crashing. So, you know what I mean? To have to go left and right, you've done an absolutely amazing job there, buddy. So well done for your 8 wins this season, 4 in a row. That cements your place at the championship. Is there anyone you want to shout out just to say thank you before we let you go?
Well, just the usual. I'll do it on behalf of Sam because he told me I had to do it. So
yeah, he didn't do it. Mate. He didn't do any.
Vermilion X Coaching, professional coaching at affordable price. Hymo setups, Vermilion Motorsports, all the boys. Burb Designs for the amazing liveries. Supernova Motorsports. Thanks to my dad for watching. Thanks for Jake O'Reilly for our pro invitational co-driving. And thanks to you boys for an awesome race and broadcast.
Awesome stuff. Well, Ben, thanks so much for joining us there, mate. Look forward to seeing you next week and seeing if you can make it over that 4 in a row mark for the wins.
I'll give it a go. Thanks, boys.
Take care. Greg, there are some times when you're in an interview and you have no idea what to ask the man because he is just so royally quick. What could you say?
I would have asked him about the dead heat in race 1 personally, but that's all right. We'll get that from him next time, I suppose. No, he is. He's a step above everyone, really, isn't he? Especially in this class, and pretty much in any class that he runs. To be honest, there's a reason people look to him for sim racing coaching, and he does a pretty good job there as well. So. I wasn't surprised he wasn't giving it away too much for free in the interview there from you.
Well, I thought I'd try. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd have a go just to try and get some
worth a shot.
Yeah, why not get some bit up in there as well? But
slip angle, that's it. Just managing the slip angle, that's all you're going to get. So yeah, go out and practice that. But there's no doubt the quicker guys at the front are able to control a car that is in a slide better. Especially in the 86s. In other cars, it's not as important because you can lose more time being out of shape. But definitely the 86s, definitely the Super Formula Lights. They're a car that can be driven sideways.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I've also just noticed that there was a safety car banner up for the whole last half of that broadcast, so I do deeply apologise about that one. Clearly that was not noticed. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Sam Catgazinos survived his PC. Survived in the rain, and it never has done at all for the season. So well done, Sam, on that one. Sam Chapman says he's so quick as the macros. And the notorious Stig, go to bed, Ben. There we go. But thank you guys for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you all in the YouTube channel. Thank you for Greg for joining me. I think it's been great having Greg up here in the booth, to be honest. So, Greg, have you enjoyed yourself?
I have enjoyed myself, mate. I don't know how often it's going to happen with race control duties, but yeah, when the call went out tonight and I was having a night off, I thought, no, why not? I'll jump in and have a crack at this side of things. So it's been fun.
Yeah, it definitely has from that one. So there you go, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. I've been JP. I've been alongside Greg Barber. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down to the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely